There you go.
Did it say it was recording?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, Josiah.
So, yes.
Hey, real quick. That ESET on there, I was using that, and I want to make sure I'm clear on it.
Okay.
I thought that was enrollment set and then enrollment complete, the blue one beside it.
Okay. I didn't know. That might be it then. That is probably it.
That's what I've been using them for. I mean, it just only because that ECM.
That's probably it. Enrollment complete. Yeah, that makes sense to me, Greg. I had no idea what the ECMP meant, so that's probably it. We'll go with that. So enrollment set, enrollment complete, demo, sold, referral, reservice. These last 6 or 5 or so, those are mostly residential, so that's not home. The first time you went to their house, they weren't there. Not home a second time. It's best to catch them after 5 p.m. during the day. That means they're retired, so it's really, they're home a lot. And then BL, again, I'm not really sure what the BL means.
I've been using that as business lead. I don't know.
Okay, we'll go with it, Greg. Cool thing about that is you can make it whatever you want. So guys, this is an example of a lead that you can create, right? So right here at the top, you got their business name, the address, where you can find them. If you do have an appointment or a comeback time, you just set the day and time with that. Right here, this little note section, that's the biggest thing for me. That's where you can kind of keep track of what happened every single time you go back. So I put a date and then what happened. That way, when the next time I go back, I know exactly kind of what happened the last time I went there and how long it's been since I last been there, right? So if someone says, hey, Josiah, come back in 2.5 weeks. Okay, perfect. I know when 2.5 weeks is because I went last on, 8/15. So I can know that 2.5 weeks from then, I can go back. At the bottom, this is where you can kind of get into like serious, more like heavy details if you sold them, what kind of policies they already have, what kind of policies you've sold them on, their date of birth, their return of premium, expected date. That way you have an idea of, hey, your return of premium is going to be $17,000 or whatever it is. That information right there, I don't tend to use it, but if you want to go ahead and plug that stuff in for the people as you go, absolutely go do it. It's not going to hurt you. It is only going to help you. Does anybody have any questions on just this page right here on SalesRabbit, how to plug this in? To do a new one, on this little top right button, this little plus sign, you just hit that and then you can go type in whatever your business name is, their address, and that's a blank slate for you. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions thus far?
I have one.
Let's hear it.
And I may be getting ahead of myself, but where up there where it has customers?
The what?
There's a tab that has customers.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's blank too. And I'm trying to figure that out because like if you go in and you put sold and you put that information in there, I thought that maybe that translated over to that become a customer. I don't know. How do you keep track of, does it put their information somewhere so like you could go back and look at everybody that you visited and who you sold to and like in a kind of snapshot looking thing?
I don't see that, but I can play around with SalesRabbit after the call. I don't want to sit here and just kind of fiddle with it. But I can definitely look into that, see if there's a way you can kind of at least see who you're actually, like who you sold on here, and see if you can kind of input that into the customer section, because that would be pretty nice to see. That'd almost be like a names list, but for businesses.
Right.
I work with, DNR Auto and so on and so forth. So that would be pretty nice to just kind of show businesses that you work with. But I can definitely fiddle around with that after the call and let you know, and I can share my findings. Okay, so as you can see, lots and lots of different businesses here plotted, different symbols, all that kind of stuff, referrals that I have yet to go to, places I've demoed, places I've sold. A lot of my not interested, I tend to never even use not interested, just because everybody's situation changes. The ones that you see right there are just simply places that are no longer open. They've closed their doors permanently, whether that's from COVID or whatever the reason is. So that's really the only time I use not interested, is when I show up and there's nothing there. Other than that, I pretty much put go back, even if they said no, just because, hey, we've all seen it. People's situation changes. 6 months to a year down the road, someone they love and know could have unfortunately gone through something like cancer. So their situation and their open-mindedness could change to allow you to come in and talk to them. So that's simply why I do that. Now I want to get into creating a route. And I know I've done this before, so Brandy, Greg, bear with me. I know you guys are probably experts on this now. So to create a route, this simply shows you exactly how to get from each business that you want to go to that day in the most efficient route, mileage wise, and back to your initial destination. So you hit this little middle button at the top left right there. These are some of my past routes I've done, but I'll do a new one for you guys. So to do a new one, you hit this little plus sign. You can name the route whatever you want. We'll just keep it as the date. My start and end point, I'll just do here. Give that a second. So that's just where you want to start and end your day, right? So I'm going to start and end my day here in Wilmington. So do that. Waypoints are simply the places you want to go, right? The businesses that you want to get to that day. So you're going to hit add leads on that top right. You're going to pick what kind of leads you want to go to, right? So I'm going to deselect all. And I'm just going to say I'll go to all of these blue ones, right? Because I know the blue ones, if I have a business that I want to go to that next day, I'll just turn it to a blue one. So I'll hit next once I've done that. These are all the ones I want to go to. So I'll just hit select all. So I can simply just hit them all, add, and then bam, all the waypoints, right? So that is pretty. Hey, Greg, I think you're right, because it's on this bottom one, it says enrollment completed. So I think you were 100% right. I guess that one didn't have a name. So at the bottom, optimization options. Obviously, I want to go the fastest route, so one that makes most sense. You can avoid tolls, highways, ferries, whatever you want. You're going to hit route it at the bottom, and it's going to take a second to just process it. Perfect. So from here, on the top right, there's a little treasure map with a X on it. X marks the spot. You smash that. Okay, well, oh, I know what that was. Excuse that one in Salt Lake City. That's actually from SalesRabbit. I was on the phone with them the other week, and they created a waypoint for you. But outside of that one, so it shows you your quickest route, right? So where you should start first. The one in Salt Lake City is kind of throwing it off, because you probably wouldn't start all the way down there. But I would imagine you go to, it shows you exactly where to go, what kind of route to go, and how to get there. And once you get to that next location, you can just simply hit it, and it'll connect to your GPS maps. And it'll take you directions stop by stop to get to those places. Now, does anybody have any questions about that?
I just have a comment that doing that is super amazing. Like one evening, I was like, oh, this is going to take me forever. And it didn't. Like I went in and looked up like the Family Dollars in my area, And then what
Right.
you do, the easiest thing to do is once you get the address, go into SalesRabbit, search the address, and then like Josiah, make it a color. And that took me maybe 20 minutes, if even. And then I had them all one color, routed them, and my day was a very big success that week.
Absolutely. It takes a little bit of forethought, the night before, the week leading up, whatever it is. But what's the saying that Van everybody always says, you tell me to chop down a tree in an hour, I'm gonna spend 3 hours of it sharpening my axe.
Yep.
And 1 hour cutting it down. It definitely takes a little bit of planning beforehand, but like Brandon said, it saves you so much time in your day. You spend zero effort thinking about, hey, where am I going to go next? How do you get there? Because you get in your car, smash the next point, and you're on your way. You're more efficient with your day that day. I'm sure Brandon can attest to that. You just get your things done in a timely manner. And if you don't hit all of the points that day because you ran out of time, cool, just carry those over to the next day. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That means you spent time talking to people and demoing them, and that's a good thing. So there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, like Bernie said, just pick a color. I use blue a lot, but pick a color that you don't tend to use. You can do like a retired button if you want. I don't do too much residential, so I'm never really using the retired button. Pick the retired button, right? Always use the retired button as you go to those points every day. Just change them back to a demo or sold or go back or appointment. That way, the next day when you plan your new routes, all those retired buttons have changed because you've made contacts with them.
So Josie, looking at all these numbers and stuff here, how do you, I know you said like click on one of them or something, and then it kind of connects to your GPS.
So as you click on it, this little right-hand turn button, you hit that and it will automatically take you to your maps. And then you just hit go.
And that starts from the first one?
So as soon as you get to that first one, right? Like, so as soon as I get to this point right here, I'll just go back here, hit the next one, and then hit go again.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You just go back into SalesRabbit. So as soon as I get to this point right here, I'll talk to them. I'll put in my notes. I'll change it to, I've actually been there, so change it to sold. And then I'll go hit this next point that I need to go to that's on the same route. And then I'll hit the go button from there. So then it'll use your new current location. So you'll really be starting right here in Brooksville and driving up to that next location. Does that kind of answer the...
Brandy, if I understand you correctly, when you said you looked up all the Family Dollars, so that means they may not have been on your SalesRabbit, or do you then type individual addresses in, or how did you work that one?
Well, the best way to, because you got to think when you look at the SalesRabbit, there's 1,000 things. There's no way to filter and type in, pull all the Dollar Generals up, right? So what I did was I just used my cell phone or whatever and just typed in Dollar Generals in Rowan County, and then I would get the address and I would go to my search button and type in like 207 Faith Road, for example, and then I'd see it and then I'd change it to my color. Then I'd do the next one, and maybe I had 10 or 15, but it don't take long, and then you route it, and then
Right.
know
Go ahead, Brandon.
And then you know where you're going, and it's cool because, I just left the Family Dollar talking to Teresa. It really, that week I did good. And so I tried it with like auto shops. Me and the auto shops didn't necessarily get along the following week. But it's just if you want to go to real estate companies in your area, Google the real estate companies. Google daycares. Looks like Josiah had Googled some like recycling centers. Just think, and then and we can look at that some today too. But it's really cool.
Yeah, so it definitely takes a little bit of pre-planning
Yeah.
to know where you're going that day. But like Brandy said, it doesn't take really that long. You're
Okay.
talking 20 minutes tops to input the new places you want to go and then route it.
Yeah, so the whole idea is to mark them with a specific color and then work out the route. And then if you see you have this odd one like you just have, can you then go in there and remove that one and then reroute it?
Remove which one?
The one out in Utah that you actually don't want to go and see.
Yeah, I can go and delete it. Wherever that is. There it is. So I can just go and hit the little pencil and just hit trash. See, that's them testing and see if there was any notes. I was having an issue with it, but yeah, I can just hit trash. And then I hit close route. And I can reroute.
No, and I wanted to point out too, and Brandy, that's good. You did the Google thing. I use Reference USA. That way I can pull up, like you said, like Family Dollars, and it'll pull up every Family Dollar, only the Family Dollars that are within a certain area, within Savannah or Garden City or Pooler or, whatever area I'm working in. And of course they have the person to contact there, who the manager is. And, I can kind of add that notes or, who I'm walking in and asking for.
Perfect. Does everybody kind of get the idea with plotting your routes?
Yeah.
That's a huge help, Josiah, because that's something I have not been doing. I've just been doing them, maybe most because I just know the area, but
right. So like another example of me using a color is like I use this little purple check mark for all of my sheriff's offices, right? That we do. So I know all these purple ones are going to be a sheriff's office. So if I want to go to all the sheriff's offices one day, I can hit the purple button, and that will be them.
And this Reference USA, is that a website?
It is. Greg, you can speak on that. I've actually never really used Reference USA. So if you want to hit on that, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, real quick. Reference USA, like Kyle actually gave me his you have to have a library card. So I used the one out of Charlotte. Kyle gave me his library card number. So I just go into Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, and there's a link on there for services, business, and Reference USA. And it's actually changed names now. It's a different name other than Reference USA. Trying to think of what it is, but they merged or somebody bought them out. But anyway, you go in there, you put your library card number in there, and then it pulls up the actual application. And from there, you can go in and set filters for, if you're looking for like all the hair salons, maybe not niche markets, or maybe not, great clips or sport clips or something like that, but just all the hair salons. You can filter a lot of that, and it'll pull them up and put them all on the map and with your addresses. Well, actually, it'll give you all the addresses, how many employees work there, what their gross annual, info. It gives you a whole ton of information, a lot of which I don't even pay attention to, but it's just a really quick resource to be able to look up businesses. And in most cases, it'll tell you who the owner is or who the CEO is or who the manager is, if it's a Family Dollar, that kind of thing. And then I just take and plug the addresses and stuff into, SalesRabbit. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. I just, if you can find out the new name of it and maybe text it or send it.
Yeah. Text me your contact number. I'll get that information for you.
Yeah, sure. Or you can just use this box thing.
I'll
Yeah, you can send it to her.
Greg.
You can shoot it over to her via Voxer individually or in the message.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
Okay.
So any questions about what we went over, how SalesRabbit works, any technical tidbits anybody's have struggles with when it comes to SalesRabbit?
No, this was really helpful because, I've been using it to look stuff up, but I haven't figured out how to plan around or just select specific things. So this will help me a lot. Thank you.
Absolutely. Good. I'm glad it was helpful. And of course, as always, if anybody has any questions, please reach out to me. Greg, I will look into the customer thing that you're talking about, the customer list. I'll fiddle around with that a little bit to see if I can figure that out. Because I think that would be very helpful for everybody to be able to have a list of businesses that you do business with.
Man,
So
I just appreciate you getting on top of it and getting our areas mapped out for us, dude.
the what?
I said, I just appreciate you kind of, spearheading the getting them on board to go ahead and map our areas and stuff out so we could actually use it to its full, functional purpose. Because before that, I mean, I was just typing everything in. I'm like, this is a joke,
Yeah, hopefully. Did you get yours? Is Georgia good to go now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Brad.
Perfect, man. Right on. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for hopping on here. Just remember, finish strong if you're not where you're at right now for the week. We got the rest of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if you feel so to make it happen. So, guys, continue to have a phenomenal week. Brandy, keep doing your recruiting thing. Big things will happen for you. And congratulations for hitting already over 4,000 for the week. That's huge. So keep pushing. Don't ever be satisfied.
Thank you, Josiah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.